We got some new chicks this morning from the post office and they arrived, so we're going to release them into their new coop. Now these are meat birds, Cornish crosses, and Emily, Elizabeth, and Ella. Ella is going to show us how to release them and what to do. All right, so this is their coop area here, so we made them a little coop, and it has some bird netting here on a stick that we put down. And that keeps this, we call them sky birds to distinguish them from the rest of our birds, from eating all of their chicken food. So it's got a little bird netting on there, so we're going to lift it up again. Watch out, Ella.
Ow.
Sorry, sweetie. All right. And then here we also have a ramp that we built. We have some hinges here, and this whole thing folds down to let them crawl in and out when they get older. So, okay, Emmy, you want to show us how to do it? Okay, so Emmy's got a new chick, and then what you do is you have to show them where their water is. So you have to dip their beak in the water, because they're not real bright. So you dip their beak in the water, show them where their food is over here, and then put them under the light. And they just kind of hang out in there. Okay, Ella and Wizzy, you want to help too?
Yeah. I'll help you.
All right. So there they are. Water, food. And we made like a little nest in there with extra hay that we had. And they just, they don't like the drafts. So we just keep, Ella's head is in there. They don't like the drafts, so we make a little nest for them. And they just like hang out in there. So they know where their water is. And they've had a long flight. So they're coming from Murray McMurray Hatchery. It's where we usually get them, and they have all of their vaccines and everything they need to make sure that they live. And we keep as many of them as we can. So these will mature to between, say, 5 and 6 pounds, although we get bigger than that in about 60 days. So if you let them go over, they get bigger, but they get so cumbersome because these are the Cornish crosses. They're like the Frankensteins of chickens. So you get a ton of meat, but they're pretty unhealthy as far as their lifestyle goes. Like they start getting so big they can't walk, and they start having heart trouble. So you really don't want to let them go too long, but wait till they get nice and big and then we process them. And I'll do another video on processing them as well. But for right now, they're just enjoying their little life right here. So we've got to release them all. And that's kind of the process. And the girls all help. It's kind of, see that one, it's got about a 0 chance of making it. It's got about a 0 chance of making it. So had 25, I think we can shoot for 24 now. Ella, Bella, you have to be so gentle and not grab their necks. All right, Wiz, show them where the water is. You put her beaks in it? Okay, show them where the food is. Well, grab one. Grab one, just do it, be soft. All right, there's Ella. Okay, so go ahead, Em. So it's always kind of an adventure here. Like it's never really like that right there. The bird just fell. So we kind of try to make this process, I don't know, fun for the kids too. Because they're just going to be chicks for a little while and then they'll grow up and they're not so attractive anymore because they smell and everything else. And then you process them and then you just you eat them. So it gets the kids used to it. So I think God just made all these baby animals cute so you can put up with all the nonsense that you get in the beginning, and then they get big and ugly and nasty, and that's when you process them and put them on the table. So we did, oh my gosh, probably 12 birds, and after everything was butchered last time, we ended up with, I'd say probably, we didn't measure it, our scale was broken, but probably about 75 pounds of meat, which is a lot of meat. And lately we've just been butchering them right on the table, so we haven't been gutting them and cleaning them all out. We used to do that, but it's very tedious and cumbersome, and we found that we would just end up butchering them anyway at the table. So there's one. So we take the legs and the wings and everything off while we're processing. Makes it a little easier. How's it going, Wizzy?
Good.
Good? All right, so while the girls are doing that, I'll kind of poke around here and show you the rest of it. So we have a light in there, so they need to be warm, especially in the beginning. Once they get fully feathered, you don't need that so much. And the whole front of that coop folds down. It's on hinges. So when they get old enough to where they can't fit through the wire down here that we use for the on the hog panels. Then we flip that down, and then they can kind of hang out in here, and we'll get their water going, move their food bowl out, and they just basically eat constantly. So this is it. We use some tin on there to give them a windbreak. They really don't like wind very much, so give them a nice corner that they can hang out in and all that. Let me think. Lots of straw on the ground. They do go to the bathroom quite a bit, so when they're older, so the straw helps. You can just kind of rake it out, keep it clean, doesn't smell bad. This is actually the corner of the pig stall, which we'll do in another video, but they're back in there somewhere. And this is it. And see what kind of teamwork we have here? Do we see the teamwork and how dramatic everything is? What's the matter, Ella?
I want to get a baby pig.
Well, go get one. Go get one. All right, so this isn't like like an industrial video, like a commercial one. It's a family video. And when you have families, you deal with stuff like this. And this is what it's for, families. And there's another one. Wizzy, could you give that to Ella? There you go, Ella. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thanks, Em. All right. 23 birds. No, I'm sure they'll be fine. They're pretty rough, pretty rugged. So here's what we have so far. So they're all kind of hanging out, and this is their little wooden area that I made them, so they can hang out in there. We have their food tray, and behind the food tray we have like a bowl full of food. So they'll make their way back there eventually. So the little food thing in the front, so they can eat, and then as they start exploring and getting bigger, they'll jump up into that and have much more food. It's a nice place for them to go to the bathroom too. So we have a scooper to clean that out. See, they're already starting to explore. There we go. All right. Okay, is that it?
Can I hold one? Yep, it's it.
That's it?
Yep.
All right, so that's the video. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank
Daddy,
you.
could we get one
Get one what?
of a chip?
And play with them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as long as you put them back when you're done. Okay, thank you, Ella.
No, I want the cake.
Okay, that's typical Ella. Honey, you don't like to hold on to them. All right, so that's it. How to introduce chicks to their new home 101.